Welcome back. All right, so this is licorice. This is the tiny bun that you guys would have seen on the old set quite often. He doesn't climb trees anymore. You baby. But I still have you in here, right? Yes. So it was just his first birthday, so happy birthday to him and all that. Anyways, let us go ahead and jump into news of the day. Just every now and then people ask, well, what happened to the rabbits? He's still in here. So NHL teams did pretty well for themselves last year. Now, this includes non-NHL related revenues, so like from concerts and the like, but $6.1 billion in revenues generated. And of course, there's new revenue streams this year. There's a reason the NHL is saying, you know what, maybe we'll make the salary cap go up by $4 million this year. They're making a lot of money. And so it's a good time for the National Hockey League. I think that it's going to be a good time for the players starting next season when those salaries start to go up quite a bit. And yeah, the evaluation of franchises, the average has gone to 1.01 billion, up 9% from a year ago. What's interesting too is this. So they looked at all 5 sports, and this of course is your standard valuation stuff. Maybe boring to some, but not to owners. And the NHL is seen as a very good sport to have ownership stakes in because of all 5 of the major pro sports. So you're looking at Major League Baseball, the NFL. They also had Major League Soccer in there as well, NBA. And so when you're looking at the sports, Major League Soccer, the difference between the revenue that's brought in and the team valuations is about 10 times. So the valuations for Major League Soccer is either high or highly speculative, and I think it's probably a little bit of both. But on the NHL side, in terms of the valuation compared with the revenues, it's close. It's actually closer than it is for the NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball. So what that means is you're getting good value if you buy into the National Hockey League. And it also could indicate that leagues are actually, or the teams in the league are actually undervalued a little bit. So, yeah, teams are doing well. Toronto Maple Leafs worth a lot of money. The Rangers, Montreal, your usual suspects. And, of course, coming down to Arizona. But if Arizona gets their new building and they're able to fill that, their valuation's going to go up as well. In fact, as soon as it's okayed that they can get the new building, the franchise's valuation will go up. That's something that's going to drag it down right now, is that uncertainty. So, again, this is why Gary Bettman, whose picture is still right over here. That's why Bettman's still employed. When I see people saying, oh, they should fire Bettman, the league is making record money, and it's never been worth more. And the value that they're getting is incredible. So that's why Bettman's still in the job, and he has no intention of retiring, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any pressure to put him out to pasture anytime soon. So, yeah, the National Hockey League's doing pretty well. And again, I think this is why Bettman with the Board of Governors said they think that the salary cap could go up by as much as $4 million. We are going to see a salary cap of around $95 million within the next 3 years. And so, yeah, teams are going to do well, players are going to do well, and a lot of the contracts people complain about now are going to look reasonable when that salary cap does hit into the mid-90s overall. Seth Jones has been placed on the IR. Apparently he injured his thumb blocking a shot, so the Chicago Blackhawks will be without him for now. Again, it's not LTIR, so that's good news. Chicago, again, is one of those teams that has been a surprise in the positive so far. Quite a surprise, and so we'll see if that continues to be the case. They were expected to be a bottom feeder, and so far they really haven't been. Bruce Garriock is reporting that Cam Talbot may be cleared and able to return to the net on Saturday. I say return to the net, and yet he's never played a game for the Senators, but you guys know what I mean. So for Talbot, it's been a rough start, being injured to start the season, but it has given Ottawa a chance to see, yeah, Forsberg's pretty good, and Hellberg may have a little bit of value. So we'll see what happens when Talbot's cleared to come back. Also, the NHL names its Rookie of the Month for the month of October. It is Shane Pinto. A 5-game goal-scoring streak will get you there. It is going to be quite the race to see who ends up winning the Calder. And yeah, I mean, Pinto's done better than I had absolutely expected. The funny thing is I'm a big fan of Pinto, but I figured, well, he'll be on the third line. It's going to be hard to generate the points there. Now he is going to be getting points. He's going to get that ice time due to the Josh Norris injury. That's going to increase his role with the Ottawa Senators, and he was already scoring before that role got increased. So St. Louis, things are getting frustrating for the Blues. They've lost 5 in a row after winning 3 in a row to start the season. Justin Falk sounding off about the team and how they're just not doing what it takes to win, saying the Kings came in last night, they did what it took to win, and the Blues just didn't. I noticed, too, Binnington yesterday, kind of chirpy as he was pulled from the game, chirping at Doughty. I'm not going to say Doughty didn't chirp him first, though, because that is quite possible. Doughty's known for being kind of lippy a little bit. But yeah, it just, to me, it showed the level of frustration. Binnington's a guy who doesn't hide when he's frustrated, and yeah, allowing 5 goals on 19 shots will absolutely do that. Last night, of course, Tage Thompson ends up tying a record in the National Hockey League. An odd record that it is, but still he ties a record. 6-point night for him last night. Tied Gretzky from 1989, so there you go, 99 Gretzky, and Bobby Clarke from 1976, who also had 6-point nights on Halloween night. So that's an interesting one, that it's a record that gets tied that I guess we'll talk about every now and then, but very rarely. Goal 300 for Jeff Skinner last night as well. Skinner's had a good turnaround after a slow start, and so it's good to see the puck going in the net for him again. Of course, he has an expensive contract that people focus on, but outside of all of it, Skinner's still a pretty good player, and yeah. So Buffalo, things are back to being peachy again, right? And I understand that, and yeah, I would feel exactly the same way right now as a Sabres fan. Montreal news for their lineup tonight. Pizzetta and Hoffman are out. Dadonov out as well. And in the lineup, we know Pitlick and Drouin are going to draw into the lineup for them. So we'll see how Montreal fares tonight against the Minnesota Wild, a team that beat them about a week ago. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see, taking the show on the road, how that's going to affect the numbers for your young guys, Caulfield and Suzuki, because they don't get last change. So they're going to be fighting against some pretty tough checking. But yeah, Montreal not expected to be very good this year, and so far above 500 and playing better than anybody expected. I don't know how long it lasts, but it's always fun while it lasts, isn't it? Vancouver news of sorts for tonight. There are 3 game time decisions. Stillman, who's had a bit of a rough adjustment to the Vancouver lineup. His numbers haven't been great, but again, it's a very small sample size. Quinn Hughes would be a huge addition if he comes back. If you can hear rustling in the background, it is Licorice digging through his food. Brock Besser, also a game time decision tonight for the Vancouver Canucks. So the Canucks could have a good lineup. They could have the same patchwork lineup they've had for the last couple of weeks. We'll see, but it is good news that these guys are game time decisions. Besser, of course, slow start for him, but Hughes has been good, and getting him back in the lineup would be a huge boost, as Vancouver's playing a New Jersey team that is playing quite well. So for Vancouver, who've won back-to-back games, if they're going to make it a 3-game winning streak, I do think they're going to need all hands on deck. Bad news on 2 fronts this morning, both for New Jersey and for Washington. We'll start off with the Capitals. Connor Brown has had surgery for a torn ACL. He's out 6 to 8 months. So essentially it's season ending. And it's too bad. Connor Brown, I really like the player. I've liked him for years, and I was really looking forward to seeing what he would do in Washington for the Caps. But sadly, he's out 6 to 8 months. So a really small amount of time he was able to play for the Capitals. Hopefully next season he's able to play a full season. And in New Jersey's case, it's a groin surgery for Palat. That just sounds really painful. Andre Palat, of course, brought in because of his scoring, as well as the fact that he comes up big in big games, as he showed in Tampa Bay year after year. The return date for Palat at this stage is unknown. They might be looking to see, how he is past the surgery. But at this point, it has to be seen as indefinite. Again, New Jersey, one of the hotter teams in the league right now, but we'll see whether or not Palat is able to come back and play for them sooner or later. I'm hoping for sooner, but hey, I'm an optimist. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.